It is over.
Hey guys, what is going on out there? How are you all doing? Welcome to the Insiders Podcast. It's been a while. We, of course, had some time off. We did the awards show. We had a Christmas break. And then last week, we were off as well. So it's been a while. Welcome. As always, next door to me on my right this way, is Jeff Watson, my co-host. Jeff, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. It's Thursday, so that's a good thing. One day closer to the weekend, and yeah, it's been quite a while since we did this. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and of course, you guys all know we previewed it the other day on the Impact stream. Jeff, throw it up there. Throw the graphic up there.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna throw it up there.
Tonight is the airing of grievances. Yes, it is.
With you people.
Yes. So we're going to air out some dirty laundry as once Eagle. Oh my God, not Glenn Fry. Good Lord, I can't even remember his name. Anyway, the lead singer of the Eagles used to say, yes, we're gonna do that a little bit later in the show. Let's get started though, as we always do, with some house cleaning stuff. So let's talk about, first of all, again, welcome to you all. Glad you can all join us tonight for the podcast. As always, amazing job by Jeff on graphics. Always does a good job with all that stuff. He said he had some fun with tonight's show, so that's awesome too. I'll welcome in some people, but first we'll just go over a little bit of scheduling. Of course, we personally don't have anything the rest of this week, but our good friend Tazzy does tomorrow night. Make sure you join him for his tailgate and also his after party for SmackDown. And then he has a show upcoming on Sunday as well, which he's going to do all about NXT. So it's going to be an NXT news show, which is very cool. Inspiring myself and Jeff maybe a little bit. We might have a little announcement coming up about something kind of similar as well. So keep it tuned in. But Tazzy's got that coming up on Sunday. So make sure you are checking out his channel. Make sure you're joining him for what he is doing. Tazzy's doing some great stuff over on his channel as well. And then next Monday, we've got Abby's Window. That is a go-home show, ladies and gentlemen, because the Royal Rumble is coming up. Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday already. So lots of buzz around that. So I'm sure Abby's will be big. We had some big happenings this past week that things are still buzzing about. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then, of course, we have an Impact show next Tuesday. We have our podcast next Thursday. And then on Sunday, it is Rumble Day.
We got to do a pre-show somewhere.
Yes, we will. Yeah, that's true. We'll have to throw
Jody just asked that in the chat. She's like, "When is our pre-show?" Yeah. I don't know yet, Jody, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We've got to do one. You're right. Let me welcome some people in. Adrian Carlos, hello. Rusty Shackelford, hello to you. Joshua, hello. James Chadwick, hey guys. Oh boys, this is going to be fun. Jody Gilly is here. Hello, Jody. Let's see. Sapphire. Hello, Sapphire. Kevin Correa. Moda is here. Did you guys use the Imperial Death March? You mean the boom, 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 boom.
Played that as I came up with the rap.
Let's see who else is here. Gust is here. Hello to you. Scrolling down. Bass Ty is here. Yes, we're here. Are you here? I hope you are well. Tazzy is here. It's an insider's party, baby. It is. And it's been a while, so that makes the party even better. Other Mother is here. Hello to you. Jen Carter. Hello to you, Jen. Big Dan. Hey, Big Dan. How are you? Hope you are doing well. Big Dan says, glad you're back. Thursday to feel whole without the insiders. I felt plain like a butterless roll. Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate that. John Ricky Hubbard is here. The music is 10 times better than AEW was last night. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we might just get to that. Sean Rousset is here. Hello, Sean. Let me see if I'm missing anyone else. Lori. Hey yo. Lori's here. Hello to you, Lori. How are you? Hayden is here. Hi, Hayden. Hello. And I think I've got everybody. All right. So welcome to the show. And we, of course, we've got the format that we kind of usually do with, of course, the exception of what you see on the screen, a little bit different. But we will be talking about the news. We'll talk about all the headlines that we have going on, including some kind of breaking stuff that we got. We got some things going on with Asuka that kind of went all over Twitter. We had a little thing from The Undertaker as well, making some noise on a talk show. So some little things going on. As of today, we are officially clear to break ground on building our house in February. Congrats to you, Jody. That's awesome. Very cool. Congratulations.
We'll do
it's
that
always cool when you get that house.
All right, there we go.
There it is. Moda says Jeff's about to smash. Jeff smash. Eric Travis, hello to you, Eric. How are you?
This is why I have the shirt on.
He's got the Roman shirt on. Nice. He's got the Roman shirt. So see, after he does his airing of grievances, he's just gonna leave. He's just gonna just leave. He's just gonna walk off. Joey's Adventures. What happened with Asuka? Well, you know what? Let's just start there because that's not really on our agenda, but we'll start there really quickly. So Asuka today kind of tweeted out some metal stuff. Three music songs, actually. Motley Crue. I know Blue Oyster Cult was another one, and one other band that escapes my mind now. But she tweeted out some random songs on a playlist. Now, somebody went back and looked at some of the lyrics in some of these songs, and a lot of it kind of seems to be about changing things. So about being, Motley Crue's was Livewire. I don't know if you're familiar with the song, but there's lyrics in there about becoming something else, kind of unleashing something. So she got the internet kind of stoked, and there were people on there that kind of put two and two together and found out that, maybe Asuka is changing. So everyone really excited about that. And we know that Bray changes people. So why can't Alexa change people as well? Of course, she didn't get the mandible claw on her. She tried it. Didn't quite get it there. So is this the start of seeing another personality coming out of Asuka? Jeff, we were talking about this before the show started. What would you think of this? I mean, to see if Asuka would turn back to, I had asked you because to her previous personality.
Yeah, I mean, before she was she went by Kana, which is a darker gimmick. If anyone remembers, and I think Big Dan just said it, but the Great Muta from back in the day, kind of that, that kind of gimmick, but just much darker. That's kind of where she would land in that, and which would be a complete, it would be a completely different character than what we see now. The fun-loving, happy-go-lucky dancing Asuka. It wouldn't be that at all. So I would love to see that return, because I think that would add some spice to Asuka. I love Asuka. I truly do. But if I'm being completely honest, I think, this part of her character has gotten a little bit stale. So I'd like to see something, change up a little bit with her character and see what we could get there, because I think matches with her and Alexa, whether they're singles or, I'm going to drop this here, as a tag team, I think that would be tremendous to see her and Alexa together as a tag team, or just head to head, kind of battling evil versus evil almost. I'd really like to see it.
That would be a force. That would be a force to reckon with in a tag team division. Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, I agree, Jeff. I think it's become a little stale now. I agree. I think she does need a little bit of a change. I mean, she was kind of just walking around as almost a sidekick to Charlotte, which was weird. Because she was the one who had the title and kind of become a little bit of an afterthought. So I think putting her into this feud with Alexa is a smart idea. C Wrestling's here. Hello to you, Philly sports fan. Hello to you, Philly sport fan. Hello to you, Eric Buchanan. Hello to you, Eric. Eric Travis is asking me if I saw your comment. Let me see what your comment was. Question. Jeff and Tazzy is in the comments, so Tazzy, you can surely answer. And Joe, Alexa changing to Asuka. So did Nikki Cross. You saw Nikki Twitter. Jeff was right. We can get a woman Wyatt family. Yeah, we saw the Nikki Cross thing as well. Jeff, did you see Nikki's interview on Twitter?
Yeah, I mentioned this on Abby's on Monday, but I kind of flipped everything on its ear, and I said, what if instead of Bo Dallas and whoever else you want to throw in there, what if we get an all-female crew plus Bray / The Fiend, whatever, and it's all females, and maybe it's Abigail, being released into all of them separately, or them being able to come together and at some point get another host for Abigail that could physically take on Bray. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Nikki involved, and give me more of crazy Nikki.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, Nikki was on fire in that little promo that she had. Yeah. And again with her, same thing. It's kind of time. She was that cute little sidekick with Alexa for a long time, and it doesn't really work for her. Yeah, like Jeff said, give me that crazy badass Nikki, because I would. Yeah, Laura even said I miss NXT Nikki so much. Yeah, I that's a great point, and I think it would be so good to kind of see her come back. Look. what's cool about all this, and I think we were going to bring up the whole Alexa thing anyway, Jeff, weren't we? That was part of the script. Yeah. So, I mean, may as well just go right into that, I guess. But I think the coolest thing to me about all this is Bray's nowhere to be found. We haven't seen Bray since he was burned alive. So he's nowhere to be found. And the coolest thing about it is he's still being mentioned and he's not even there. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome when you can do that. And, not even being around, but yet what I guess you could say the spirit of Bray is living on in all of this stuff that's going on. Is Alexa looking at Bray on those swings, or is it not? I mean, is it? I think See Wrestling said this, or is it her demon that she's looking at on the swings? I mean, yeah, and I'm sure you guys have covered a lot of this on Abby's as well. But I mean, it's pretty amazing. Alexa's just killing it. I kudos to her. She has really found an amazing role here, and she's just really playing this part well. And now the fact that the lights went off, she changed mid-match, came back as the black lipstick with the smeared on, the side of her face, and basically squashed Asuka. She squashed her. She took no damage. I mean, whatever Asuka brought to her, she just let it bounce off of her, and it did nothing. So absolutely squashed Asuka, which is crazy. So I think this stuff's great.
She no-sold everything that Asuka did. She no-sold it, and that just tells you that she's kind of taking this path of having, being able to tap into the whole idea that the pain doesn't really exist thing. So.
Yeah, absolutely. C says, what if Bray is the Abigail to Alexa's family? Life is a circle. Now he's in limbo. He could be the next Abigail, not actually Abigail. Dude, anything is possible with him. Absolutely anything is possible with him. C had a video out a little bit earlier. I was talking to Jeff about too. Go watch it if you haven't. Very interesting. He brought up a character who I have loved for a lot of my life. Watched him a lot when I was younger in one of my favorite sitcoms ever called Taxi, and made a lot of references to Andy Kaufman. I listened to it. Very, very interesting. And go check that out if you haven't already. I'm not going to spoil it. But it's very, very, very interesting. I found it to be, and like I said, I loved Andy Kaufman. I always thought he was a genius. A lot of people didn't like him. He put a lot of people off. But I always thought he was really, I mean, that man, you want to talk about multiple characters and multiple personalities that he could do.
Oh man.
There was no one better. I mean, to play Latka Gravis on Taxi, and then to go to Vic Ferrari on Taxi, and then to go to Tony Clifton, and just all of these like other things. So yeah, go check that out. Did he take? Was he inspired by Andy Kaufman? That's cool. That's a really, really cool thing that he pointed out. So go check out that video. It's different, and I would never have thought of it. And I'm a big Andy Kaufman fan. So, all right. But yeah, I can't wait to see what they've got next. Obviously, I think a lot of people, including you guys, have probably again mentioned, you and Jody have probably mentioned. I mean, I don't know, Jeff. Do you still think he's coming back for the Rumble?
And I think I said this on Monday too, but before Brody passed, I would have said definitely he'd be back at the Rumble. I thought even maybe a week before, which would be this week. But since the passing of Brody, I just don't see. I don't know. I don't know if he'll come back for the Rumble, or if he'll wait to the next pay-per-view. I'd love to see him at the Rumble. But I think, and I don't know this to be sure, but I think it's possible that there was maybe a plan for him to come back before the Rumble, and maybe they've just adjusted that a little bit by a week or two to give him a little bit more time, because, I mean, this is a real life situation, not, not a storyline in wrestling. So.
True. Yeah. And the only thing I saw with that was I watched that video that Bray was a part of, which was on, it was on WWE Network. And honest to God, Bray, it was sad. Bray looked like he was really like devastated. You could just see, you could kind of hear him crackling a little bit when he spoke, and it was just really sad. And you could just tell that he took that really, really hard. And I'm sure he has. And I'm sure he has. And like Jeff said, maybe they got with him and they're like, you know what, take some time, mourn him and take some time out. And so if that's the case, that's fine. Good for him, and let him go, and of course mourn him in his own way. So yeah, you might be right. It might be coming later than we thought. Be coming later than we thought. Lori says, I remember in high school when Man on the Moon, the movie came out, all the kids wanted to see it because they thought it was about the song by REM. Well, the song by REM is about the film. It's about Andy Kaufman. They say, Andy, did you hear about this one? Tell me, are you lost in the punch? Yeah. So I mean, the song was about Andy Kaufman. So yeah, good movie. And Jim Carrey played the part really, really well. Joey's Adventure says, I think Fiend will be back at the Rumble to set up Mask versus Mask at Elimination Chamber. Possibly, he could be back at the Rumble. The tone of it's kind of calmed down though, because you were hearing that they were going to do the Funhouse match and all this kind of stuff. It's not being talked about so much anymore. Jeff could be right. They just may have just decided, you know what, let's just give them some more time, and let's go forward with the Alexa thing. And you know what, that's cool that you have it. Now people are kind of starting to see, well, why did you do this? Well, because now you'll always have that character there, regardless of whether Bray can be there or not. So, all right, Jeff, let's get on with the, since we started with the last headline, let's get on with the other headlines, shall we?
Okay. All right. We'll just move. We'll move backwards and go back to the airing of grievances.
Okay.
Okay. So here's a fun one. Not really, but are we turning the page on Ethan Page's career in Impact Wrestling?
Jeff, I will let you start out on this one. You can go ahead. I mean, we all know, we kind of know what's coming here, but
you kind of know I have something to say about this.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. So I'm going to preface this by saying that I really, really, really like Ethan Page, and that I hope that everything that's happened, that's been reported since after Hard to Kill, is a part of an angle, which would make a lot of sense. And I want to explain I want to explain the reason why I'm going to start with the bad on this, because in my opinion, if what happened was not a work, then he looks like a big crybaby in some respects. And here's why I say that. Ethan signed with Impact. They gave him an opportunity. They gave him his opportunity to become what he has become. Now, has he done the work to transform his body, to really hone in on this character that he's doing? Absolutely. But without the spotlight on him from Impact, he might not have gotten to this point as fast as he has over the last year. And this is one of my biggest pet peeves about this, is because if he had a gripe with it, I wish he would have just taken it to Impact management, not, post this in a Patreon. I get it, but he's also savvy enough to know that if you post this and that, one of your followers is going to screenshot it and they're going to put it out there, period. So what's the play here? Now, personally, I think he's going to AEW. That's where I think he's going. We'll see what happens. That's just my hunch. But again, what are you going to do when you get there? You know, are you going to be the Karate Man? Are you going to be Ethan Page? Who are you going to be? And once you're there, where's your where's your spot? Because are you going to put him? Are you going to put him right in there um with Mox or Omega? No. Does he belong in the TNT Championship title picture? Maybe. But you got a lot of other guys, you know, fighting for that spot too. So where do you put them? So I just really hope that this is a part of a work, because I really like Ethan Page, and you know, there's reports that there was possibly a match out there for him and Josh, where he would have put Josh over before he left the match. I mean, before he left the company. I don't know. I don't want to speculate, because if I speculate, then it's going to piss a lot of people off, and I'm already going to do that in a little bit. So I want to save my pissing you off for later in the show. But, you know, my thing is, you know, I don't – unless it's a work, I don't think there's any way possible he resigns with Impact. If it is a work, I think he's going to AEW, and it's going to play into their partnership in some way, shape, or form. But if it's neither of those things, then yeah, I'm not real happy with this at all, with how this was done. And I mean, you know, you can blame both sides. You can say what you want to say about them not editing his match the right way, the way that he submitted it. But my thing is this, dude. You're an employee of that company. Once you give them that product, that's theirs. Like, you don't own it unless, I mean, we get that they're independent contractors, but when they're under a contract of that company, that product, that end product, belongs to them. That's like me developing something at my job, developing a report at my job saying, hey, I did everything that I was supposed to do for the fourth quarter. Don't edit my document. And they need to edit it for spacing purposes. I can't get pissed off then and say, well, you know what? You guys edited my report. You're pieces of crap, and I don't want to deal with you anymore because you edited my report. No, that's your product. While I did what I did for you while I was on your clock. So anyway.
Yeah. What confused me about this was, like, people didn't hate it. Like, when I heard about this, that when this happened, like, it kind of shocked me, because when I read, you know, and I've told you guys, I read a lot of stuff. I read a lot of stuff with Bleacher Report. I read Bleacher a lot because of the other sports that I follow and stuff like that. But they do, you know, they're pretty critical on wrestling on there. They're hard on wrestling, and they gave this match an A+. Like, they literally said they thought it was fantastic because of the whole thing with the Cobra Kai out now, and with the, you know, like the tribute to, like, Mortal Kombat in it, like all of that kind of stuff. Like, they gave it an A+. They thought it was fantastic. So I
mean, if you're a fan of his, how many of his fans actually walked away from that match saying, man, that sucked, or they took out 30 seconds of this or 30 seconds of that? How many of you were actually pissed?
Yeah, like I didn't get that. Like I that's what I didn't understand. Like, I didn't see a lot of hate. Now, you know, you could kind of, human nature is, you know, if you see a lot of hate out there on the dirt sheets and everybody's saying, oh my God, this sucked. This was the worst thing ever. Like, it was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. If they're doing that, okay, then yeah, you know, then you can just understand. Like I said, human nature, you get bitter and you get upset by it, and you think, okay, you know, but yeah, I just didn't get it. And, you know, then you start to wonder to yourself, we live in this social media age, so things are just so different. And, you know, like Jeff was saying, if it's a work, you know, somebody leaked it, but did they leak it? You know what I mean? Like, and like Jeff was saying, is it a work? Are they, you know, is this all just a setup? And then you got this whole thing going, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit too with Impact, where we don't know what the hell's going on. Is this the NWO thing kind of playing itself out? And Jeff made a great, you know, comment to me the other day saying, like, almost think of it as the insider or the outsiders. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, segue into us. But yes, the outsiders, almost think of it as Hall and Nash, but being able to go back and forth. So, like, if they were able to go from WWE to WCW and back and forth like that, it's almost kind of playing out that way. So, is it a work? I don't know. It's hard to say because, and like Jeff said, I respect Ethan for doing the things that he's done. And Jeff said the same thing. You know, I mean, obviously the man worked on himself, worked on his career, worked on his, you know, the characters and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't like it when anyone disrespects a former company. It doesn't come off well, no matter how you look at it. It doesn't come off well. If it is a work, yeah, you're pissing a lot of people off. So, you know, if he is going, like Jeff said, and he's going to, you know, go to AEW and he's going to join whatever it is they're doing over there and come back after Impact, well, then, of course, it fits.
Right.
If
right.
Not, yeah,
Let's be honest, it kind of looks like a dick.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look. It just comes off as being like sour grapes. And yeah, it's not a good look. So, you know, like Jeff said, I hope it is a work. Because yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know. And I mean, I was thinking we were going to see him on AEW. We didn't. So maybe he's not leaving. Maybe he's staying. I you know, at this point, who knows? But yeah, I mean, it definitely was in the news. And like I said, it confused the hell out of me because I'm like, nobody hated this. You know, and then he came off saying that they destroyed, you know, that he did it better. And he, you know, he had it on his own YouTube channel, which he did. He had the video on his own channel, not this one, but he did one before. And he's just saying that they screwed it up. They made a mockery out of it and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, it just doesn't come off as a good look. You know, I've been in and out of a lot of jobs. And the one thing I've learned throughout my career is you don't burn bridges because you never know when you're going to need that bridge to cross back over again at some point in time. So it's never a good thing to, you know, throw up the middle finger at your old employer and say, screw you, even though you want to do it. A lot of times it's not usually a smart thing to do. So
we're about to talk about a dumbass that's doing that right now.
Oh my God, this was ridiculous.
You ready to talk about this?
Yeah, let's go.
Since we're going from one thing where a guy could look like a jackass to a guy that actually is a jackass that said some dumb stuff. Mr. Feed Me More, Mr. Ryback.
Oh God. Like, what is this dude doing? Like, honestly, and this, again, this comes off to me, too, as making no sense. I heard this, again, because I listened to Busted Open, and Mark Henry, dude, Mark Henry went off on Ryback. And like, you could tell he was genuinely hurt. Mm-hmm. Like Mark Henry said, he was my brother. I spent time with this man. You know, I shared a locker room with him. You know, we traveled together. We had matches together. And he said, what is he doing? I mean, if you don't know the story, so basically he came out and responded to a tweet that Fox WWE on Fox put out saying, like, who should hold the title? And then Ryback responded by saying, well, titles don't matter. I mean, you're just putting them on somebody who is getting you merch. So titles mean nothing. So it doesn't, you know, it has no bearing on anything. And basically what he was doing was blowing up the wrestling business and saying that none of it is real anyway. So who cares? Like, I mean, we all know this, duh. Yeah. But the sucky thing here is, dude, you have kids that watch this stuff. You have younger kids watching wrestling every single week. They may not know that. So why would you come out and do that? When, you know that this is going to get out there. Again, social media. You know, the other thing too, Jeff, that boggles my mind is this guy's looking for a job. Like, what in the hell would you do this for when you know people are going to look at you? And even if people were thinking about it, like, let's say Cody Rhodes was thinking about bringing this dude in, he's not going to do it now. There's no way on God's green earth Cody's bringing him in now because he basically insulted the whole damn wrestling business. So what are you thinking? You know, like, what are you thinking? He, and I know he does his YouTube thing, and he talks, and he does his eating challenges, and he's into everything. And like Mark Henry said, he's selling like protein stuff now, and this and that. And I mean, this dude could, I mean, look at him. Look at the picture of him. This guy could have been a big deal. He could have been a big deal, but sometimes you just got to keep your mouth shut. And you just go about your business. He was made it seem like he was making a comeback this year. Kept telling a lot of his fans to keep watching because this is going to be his year and blah blah blah. So why in the hell would you make that stupid comment and knock the business? And that's what Mark Henry was saying. He's like, there's some things you can do here. There's some things you can say. And you can bitch about things and bitch, and say how this place sucks and this place, but don't screw around and don't make fun of the business. And that was Mark Henry's argument. And he was going back and forth with it for a couple of days. But yeah, what stupidity, man. I just don't get it. And I get he wants the attention. He wants the social media. He wants the clicks and stuff like that. But man, dude, just dumb. Just dumb. I just don't get it. Go ahead, Jeff.
Is another one of these deals where there's a guy that is, he's been out of wrestling for however long now. I mean, he's so relevant that I don't even realize how long he's been out of wrestling. Yeah. And he wants another job in the business. And you know what? I get it, but honestly, like he's got a big dog bark with a puppy dog bite. I mean, that's what this is. For him to disrespect the business that way is something that is unprofessional and unbecoming of someone who spent any time in a ring, taking bumps, going through the training, doing everything that you do to become a professional wrestler. And not only that, but he actually got the opportunity to do it at the highest level. And for him to be bent out of shape because of whatever reason, and then to say the comments that he made about the business were just, I mean, what Mark Henry said, honestly, if they did a little something on Fight TV, where they had a grudge match and, it was MMA rules or boxing rules, I'd pay to see Mark Henry knock his head off.
Yeah.
I'd figure out a way to get that event because, this is the kind of stuff that that's stupid. And, if you want to go to AEW, maybe you should have taken more shots at Vince. Maybe then you would have been a little more marketable to them because they probably would have scooped you up by now. But when, this is bigger than taking a shot at Vince. This is about taking a shot at the business that a lot of us love and, admire. So, and especially the guys and girls that worked, that worked their tails off to get an opportunity in the ring. So, if he wants to, run his mouth, run his trap, that's fine. But when somebody gives him the Braun Strowman treatment and he catches those hands, don't say anything because you're going to catch some hands, buddy. And you better hope that your big, over muscle bound body can, defend the shot because somebody's going to pop you in the mouth one day and it's well deserved.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, if Mark Henry obviously had, he has that injury. We saw him with Randy Orton and stuff like that. I mean, dude, if Mark was okay, you might have seen something like that. I mean, Mark's a good dude. From what I understand and from what I've heard of him, I mean, obviously I don't know him, personally or anything like that, but from what I've heard of him, he always seems like he's a good guy. He talks a lot on Busted Open. He seems very genuine when he talks to people and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. I agree. It just was unfounded, really just stupid and made absolutely no sense, especially for a guy who's trying to rekindle a career. Right. I'm not doubting Mark is a good guy, and I tend to defend my Texas guys, but this isn't the first time we've heard someone speak ill will of Mark. Remember the Leo Rush situation? Yeah, but Ryback didn't call him out, Moda. He didn't call out Mark. He just made the comments, and a caller actually called into Busted Open and told Mark Henry what he said. And Mark just went off because of how he attacked the business. And Mark made the same comments that I did. In fact, those are his comments talking about how, hey, don't bite the hand that feeds you. You were a pro wrestler. You made money in this. You're still looking to be a pro wrestler. So don't come out here and ruin it and start telling everybody that it's fake and all this other kind of stuff. When kids are on Twitter. They're going to see that kind of stuff. You may have ruined, the business, ruined wrestling for, a whole bunch of kids who may have seen your tweets. So yeah, like I said, just stupid. It's just really, really, really stupid. Really stupid. As Bray Wyatt once told Leo Rush after joking about Emma's release, "You're never going to make it here with the Wolves, kid." Said, man. Oh man,
strong advice.
Yeah, it's just really stupid. Just really dumb. You have to think before you do stuff. And oh my God, it's so easy to just stick stuff on social media and then regret it. It's so easy to do that. People just don't think before they post, and then they throw stuff out there, and then they're like, "Oh shit! Like, what did I do?" Just dumb, just really, really dumb. So, he did get backers. Some of his, his fans were retweeting saying, "Oh yeah, dude, yeah, go get him," blah blah blah. But for the majority, and most of the people were saying, "Dude, like, why? Like, what did you do?" You could have made any comment there. You could have said anything. You could have said, "Oh, who cares who they put a title on," or something like that. You could have said anything. But
to call them props.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like, this isn't a WWE AEW thing. This is just a guy, a disgruntled employee. This is what this situation is. It's just a disgruntled employee saying something because he can't break back into what he's trying to get back into at this point. Yeah. I don't know. It's back to what Coach Herm Edwards says. Don't press send. That's all. Like, think before you tweet, because you're gonna make an ass of yourself if you say, like, there's a way that he could have said that where he didn't say the dreaded F word in wrestling, and he didn't refer to the titles as props.
Yep.
So
yeah, no, it's true. That's true. All right, I see it up on the board. Yep. Let's talk about reactions to Hard to Kill. Hard to Kill, of course, was on Saturday. We streamed it, and again, was this gigantic, historic pay-per-view that everybody was talking about. Everybody. We had a pretty good crowd in our stream watching. I know Impact got a lot of eyes on it because of the Kenny Omega thing. So, let's just talk about the reactions to this. I think we talked about it afterwards with Tazzy. I came away thinking the matches were great. I didn't have a problem with a lot of the matches that we saw during the course of the night. How that ending, like, what, and now let's continue it into Tuesday a little bit. And the show we saw on Tuesday, it just, I don't, now I'm kind of confused now. I don't know where this is going. It seems as if Tony Khan and Jerry Lynn now are the heels, right? They're coming over and they're being the heels in this story. Are they doing this like the NWO? Are they doing this like an invasion? And is that why when we get rebellion, keyword rebellion, in April, is that going to be where the whole thing's just going to go off? And is it going to be because now people are saying, is this going to be a AEW versus Impact pay-per-view? Yeah. Maybe that is where this is going. I don't know, but they are playing the heel, last night
we've already got one AEW versus Impact match for the next Impact Plus exclusive. It's going to be Private Party against the Good Brothers.
Yep.
So,
so maybe this is where this is headed. And if there is, Rusty said there's going to be a merger. I hope not. I think we made this clear on Impact on Tuesday. I don't want that to happen. I really don't want. People have been asking me that too on Insiders and saying, do you think that they've already bought Impact? Do you think it's going to be their second show? I really hope not. As an Impact fan, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that because it's not good for Impact overall. It just isn't because second shows are going to get treated like second shows. They're not going to be first and foremost. They're going to steal talent, and I think Jeff alluded to this on Saturday. Are they recruiting people? Jerry Lynn, was Jerry Lynn there to look at people and start picking and choosing people from Impact to come over there and kind of switch sides and stuff like that? I hope not. I really hope not. C Wrestling said, I think Tony Khan already owns Impact 100%. That's why people are jumping ship. I hope not. I hope not.
I really hope not.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case. I really hate that. Coming up on Impact over this past year, I really enjoy the product and I really love the stuff that they're doing. Tuesday night I got a little bit emotional seeing Taya leave. So the storylines they develop. There you go. That whole Johnny Bravo story. You got to get. Did they make a swerve and stuff like that? Maybe, but still, now you kind of think to yourself, was that whole thing set up as a farewell and a goodbye to Taya Valkyrie? And if so, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty neat way to go out and have her carted out. Okay, you're going to Stanford Penitentiary, and you're going to be there for 3 years.
Yeah.
Was that all the way for Taya to say goodbye? And if that's the case, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. This is the kind of stuff that I know if this happens and they get absorbed, it's not going to be the same show. It's just not. And I really hope that's not the case. I really hope that it is going to be a feud and they're going to fight against each other. And I really hope that they're not getting absorbed. I would not be happy. James Chadwick saying that better not happen in all caps.
Yeah.
James Chadwick, I told you I have to read it all. That better not happen in all caps. MLW will be next, says Rusty. Oh, dude, I hope not, man. I really hope not. I don't want, I don't want that. I don't want to see. We have so much now to watch. We have so many options out there. I don't want to see them absorbed by the bigwigs. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, and I agree with that. For me, I don't want to see Impact after everything that TNA/Impact has been through over the years.
Yep.
For the pandemic to force them to sell to AEW would suck. And even if they did it in a way where Tony Khan owned Impact, but he still let Don Callis and Scott D'Amore run it. And maybe that's the case behind the scenes. Then that, it depends. I'd like for Tony Khan to not have his hands in it and just let Impact be Impact. That's just my opinion. When it comes to the matches from Saturday night, I thought Hard to Kill was great on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. I'll be honest with all of you on Tuesday night, and I even said this to Joe and Tazzy once we got off. I was like, I felt like I had to be a beacon of light on Tuesday because I could sense so many people getting frustrated and being frustrated with what we saw on Tuesday and it looking so one-sided that it's like, okay, why in the world are we doing this if AEW is just going to run roughshod over Impact? Like what's the benefit for Impact? And I ask people to be patient. I have to remind myself to be patient and and that's what I'm trying to do right now is encourage everyone to just kind of be patient with this because we don't know. This could set up for something brilliant if done correctly. if it gets to the point where we see them, where we start to see people going over to AEW now, so Moose going over there and just wrecking shop on
Yeah.
AEW, like that could bring back some momentum. I will tell you this right now. There were two people affiliated with Impact that were at AEW Dynamite last night. And so I'm just saying, like, just know that Impact just finished up tapings. They're in the process of finishing up tapings.
Yep.
There have been people that have been migrating to Jacksonville. I'm just throwing it out there. So again, just keep your eyes peeled, that kind of thing. Just know that it's not over yet, but good Lord, I really hope that they don't buy it because we've got so many good options. I mean, and I'm really, like, I've been watching, but I'm really starting to get more. And I know people are saying it in the chat. I'm really starting to get more into MLW too. So like I love the options that we have, So yeah, that's just me. I agree with you, Joe. And the question on the screen, I think we kind of answered what we feel. I think we both think it's kind of an incomplete for right now until someone until we see a little bit more. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would think so. Look, like I said, we definitely know come Rebellion, there's something going on because you look at the logo for Rebellion and there's the Omega sign. So you know that there's something going on in Rebellion, and that's in April. So, I mean, if this is going to build to that and something big is going to happen in Rebellion, okay, I'm all for it. And maybe that's what this is. Maybe it is all long-term storytelling. We don't know.
Right.
That's the thing. We don't know. So if that's the case, then yes, I'm willing to wait and let this play out. It's going to be very, very, very disappointing if it ends up being a buyout. Very disappointing because we are going right down the path of Shane McMahon taking over WCW right in a big circle again. And if history tells us anything,
how did that end the first time?
Yep. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. Clay Sculptures has joined us. Hello to you. I think I saw Conrad. Did I see Conrad?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Conrad says, insiders in chat, what's good? Just came in to show some love. Thank you, Conrad. Welcome. Always nice to see you here. Hope you are doing well. Chris Dazuba is here as well. Chris is vomiting emojis.
Chris is one of the people that I saw in the chat the other night, and I'm like, man, I don't give up on it just yet. I get it. I understand it because there's some people out there that don't necessarily like what AEW does on a week-to-week basis. Yeah. And hey, I'm not going to disagree with some of the opinions out there about the product, but just don't give up on it yet. Maybe this is just a way to start this little engine that could kind of theory and then it evolve into something a little bit more going forward.
Yeah, I agree. Let's give it some time. This whole thing just started. We went through the one pay-per-view. Let's give it a little bit of time. Kevin Hefferner says, I hope we don't have to see that Omega and Callis painting. Oh, dude, that was awful. That was awful. I would not have that as my screensaver on my phone. That was awful. Yeah, dude. Oh, let's remember TNA screwed NWA. They screwed GFW and hope they do it to AEW as well.
Hey, they did. That's true.
Yeah.
Because TNA and NWA was supposed to be the next big thing. I was very close to that situation at that time during those years. So I have some inside knowledge of some of those inner workings for sure. So yeah, they did those twice. So yeah.
Lori saying never felt bad for the Bucks in my life until last night. Yeah, that was a cringy thing. Like that just kind of came out of nowhere because the last time you saw them, like they were all celebrating in the middle of the ring. And then all of a sudden now, like Callis is saying, yeah, Kenny just had you around for laughs. And but we don't want to, we just want, and he's trying to give them a check to buy them out. Like where did that come from? Where did that come from? Like, I don't know. That was just really weird. Yeah. So let's give it some time, though. Like I said, I mean, Rebellion. Something is building to Rebellion, or they wouldn't have that little Omega symbol on the logo. You just know. So there's something developing there. Impact announced another mini pay-per-view as well. I think today it was February that they have coming. So.
13th.
Yeah, so let's give it a little time. Let's give it a little time. Just take a deep breath. Yes, let's take a deep breath and just go from there. All right, Jeff, what do we got next?
You want to get this other thing out of the way.
Are you chomping at the bit?
I feel like.
Do you want to do that now and then end on the favorite things to kind of get a positive? Okay.
Yeah,
right, I get you.
I don't want to end on a bad note because I get you. This is.
I get you. I get you.
For this one, so.
All right, guys. Well, we all know what time it is. We all know what time it is. Yes, it is. It is time for the Insiders Wrestling Podcast to air the grievances. It's that time. So here we go. I know you guys have all come down to, I don't know if this has like been the main attraction. This got talked about on Tuesday and everybody's like, oh my God. Look at James Chadwick with the eyes. Here we go. Everybody's getting all fired up. Lori said it's Vader. It's Vader time. Oh my God.
It might be
Vader time. Chomping for Champa, says Butterspark. Jeff's head is sparkling on the. I know that's my lighting. Yeah, I know. I got the light right back in there. I know Jeff's head sparkling.
It's an accurate representation.
It's the light shining on Jeff's head.
My head on a daily basis looks like I've buffed out my bald head with turtle wax. So.
Yeah, it's the lighting in here. I have a goofy light like right over in the middle of the room here, and it tends to do that on my and plus I don't have as good of a graphics card as I used to have. So what are you gonna do? All right. So well, Jeff, this is your baby. I'm gonna let you go. I've got some things to say, which I'll finish up with. So I this is Jeff wanted to say some things. So hey man, go right ahead. You lead us off here, man.
All right. Well, I'll try not to be too R-rated. I'll try to keep it as PG as possible. I can't make any promises, but it is what it is. So the other night I talked about the biggest problems that I have with the IWC, primarily on Twitter, because Twitter and social media in general has made a bunch of whiny little entitled, spoiled brat little pieces of crap out there. And it really falls into a few different categories. Like everyone feels like their opinion is fact. Like everyone feels their opinion is fact. And the moment that you challenge them, you're a piece of crap. You get blocked. You gather up a bunch of people to try and get them on your side. So you can have some folks behind you, because, nothing says tough like having a following on social media where 5 people who you don't even know and never met before agree with you. Holy crap. If your life is that freaking bad where you rely on that, you rely on a little bit of Twitter fame because of an opinion you have, because your parents never told you that not all of your opinions are good ideas. And not all of your opinions are fact because your parents didn't tell you that. Now all of a sudden, that's where we are. Like, just grow up. So you get people who share these things on social media. They get you they get pissed off with you if you say, "Oh, I disagree with that." So then what happens is not only do you have that, oh, and by the way, your opinion isn't reality. It's just your opinion. Like, you think Raw sucked on Monday night? Cool. A lot of people thought Raw sucked on Monday night. A lot of people thought Raw was good on Monday night. Guess what? It doesn't really matter because there's no right or no wrong. If you liked it, you liked it. And if you didn't, you didn't. Period. But here's the thing I'll tell you. You'll save yourself a hell of a lot of stress if you didn't watch something that you hate. Like, I can't hate watch stuff. I don't have enough time to hate watch something. I don't get the chance to do things I like, let alone give my viewership to something I hate. Like, you want to hate watch WWE so you can send crappy tweets about them that none of them will ever read and they don't give a rat's ass about. That's what you want to spend your time on. Okay. Well, that tells me the type of life that you have, which is non-existent. Because I can go ahead and guarantee you Vince McMahon doesn't give a crap if you think you could book Raw better. Okay, because let me ask you this, folks. When's the last time a tweet got a job for somebody as a head booker of a wrestling company? Let me know. Please let me know. Because if that's happened, I'll shut up about it. But the last time I checked, your shitty comments on Twitter about wrestlers and their personal lives and talking trash about them and insulting them and bullying them and finding out stuff about their family so you could dox them and say all of this crap. Like, that's what you do, grow up. Nobody cares about what your tweet says. Nobody. Like, it's not that hard. And if I hate WWE, I'm damn sure not going to watch it. Here's the thing. I hate all of the Real Housewives of whatever city that's desperate enough to have this TV show on whatever channel it comes on every week or however often it comes on. You know what, though? You know what? I don't watch it. I realize that if I sit down and watch Real Housewives of whatever town or city, then it makes me a hypocrite to then go out and bash it. That makes me look real, real dumb. So you might fall into this category if you do that. You either just like to pile on the bandwagon and get other people to hate what you hate, so because misery loves company, or you're a secret closet fan and you just don't want people to know about it. Make up your mind which one you are, because let me tell you, like, some of y'all with your comments, some of these people with their comments about, well, WWE didn't do this and they had this person and they had that person. Listen, don't give me the morality crap with professional wrestling, because let me explain something to you real quick. Every locker room in the professional wrestling business has some great people. But you know what else they have? Some really crappy ones who've committed crimes, who are pieces of trash human beings who deserve to not have a job, just like everybody that you want WWE to fire, or you want to have Vince McMahon's head roll because he didn't do this to this person or that person. You're taking secondhand stories, you're taking different things, and you're making assumptions about what a company did. I hope you hold that same mirror up to your other favorite promotions. Because if you don't, then you're a hypocrite. Period. I wrote a couple things down because I didn't want to lose place here, Joe. I guess my last thing is this too. Like, I get sick and tired of seeing so many people take wrestling serious like it's life or death. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not life or death. Nobody's dying over a booking decision made by AEW on Dynamite. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's gonna have a war because Don Callis didn't book Moose the right way last week. So I get so sick and tired of people costing themselves friendships and alienating people out of their lives for what? Because you disagree on a damn storyline? Because the guy that you really wanted to win didn't win an event that they had already determined the outcome for before it even came on. Come on. Like, it gets so frustrating that people will ruin their reputations to get a little bit of clout on Twitter. And these people, these influencers, some of these so-called journalists, these analysts that have all of these ideas and opinions, and they make you feel stupid for liking something that you like. And then when they start talking about whatever it is that they don't like, they try to burden you with their dislike for something, when in reality, the reason why they dislike it is because a dislike and being a crappy human being equals ratings and views and money these days. Brian Alvarez, I doubt that he's watched Raw this year. If he has, it's been on replay. But he has an opinion about Raw. Dave Meltzer, I could say a lot worse than on what I'm about to say. Dave Meltzer has things happen to his body by watching an AEW match. Like, the man is euphoric after he watches an AEW match, and I'll leave it at that. When's the last time he's been critical of AEW? Last time. Let me know.
Nope.
And the last thing I'm gonna say is this: the next time I see someone talking about a botch that a wrestler had and criticizing their weight, criticizing how they work in a ring, criticizing their mic skills, I'm going to ask them, when's the last time you took a bump? When's the last time you did promo class at a wrestling school? When's the last time you had to put up and break down a wrestling ring? Because if you haven't, I don't really want to hear your opinion, because, you know, and this is no shade at anybody at that works at McDonald's or anything like that. But if you're tweeting about Nia Jax botching a promo, when's the last time someone came through your drive-through and yelled at you and tweeted about you botching someone's order at McDonald's? Shut your freaking mouth. These are people just like everybody else. And your opinions of me don't really matter to the people, to the people that are out there that that like to jump in my DMs and call me the N-word because you disagree with what I have to say. Your opinion doesn't mean jack crap to me. Okay? If you had balls, you'd say it to my face, or you'd come at me without a fake account. So the next time you do it, I'm gonna post that crap on Twitter for the world to see, and then I'm just gonna let my Twitter goons find out who you really are, so we can expose these racists out here, all because of somebody has a damn wrestling take. Give me a break. Grow the hell up. I'm done.
Look, so mine, you know, I mean, I agree with everything he said. the fact that there are people that are out there, and like Jeff said, Twitter is garbage. Twitter is absolute garbage. I mean, I've been on Twitter for I think 4 years or so. I never used it, and it's garbage. It's absolute crap. That's why you see that terrorists use garbage, or terrorists use Twitter. That's why you see that they're the ones that use that kind of stuff, because there's fake accounts everywhere. And it's disgusting. We talk about keyboard warriors. We talk about people that just sit behind keyboards all day and bitch at people and tell people garbage and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. And everything Jeff said is absolutely true. It's sad that people are like this. It's sad that people are, they get behind. I don't know what it is. I don't know when it became a rallying point for people to get behind something like, for me, when I first saw this, and this is well before this, we started this. When I first saw this was when the new Star Wars trilogy came out. And I saw this because I'd go on Twitter and I'd look for like movie premieres and things like that. And I'd look to see what, news and stuff like that, looking for spoilers, of course. But when I came on, that's kind of when I first saw this. And the entitledness to people, the entitledness that people think they have in this world, to me, boggles my mind. Like, people come out and they're saying, "Oh, this movie's trash. This movie's garbage." People going on to Rotten Tomatoes and going in there just to give it a shit score because somebody made a movie that you didn't like. I don't get it. Like Jeff was saying earlier, don't you have anything better to do with your life? Like, you're going to sit behind a keyboard and you're literally going to take time out of your day to go and falsify a review of a movie just so it gets a bad score because you thought it sucked and you thought somebody else should have done it better. These people getting paid millions of dollars. They went to school to be directors and stuff like that. Where do you come off so damn entitled that you can tell people what to do? Where do you come off? Like, what gives you the right? Because you signed and logged into Twitter? Screw that. Like, who the hell do you think you are? You are a name of one of millions and millions of people on social media. That's all you are. So, like Jeff said, know your place. Like The Rock used to say, know your role. Know who you are, because if you think that you've got this kind of clout, that you can just go out there and say, and this goes for the wrestling stuff too. I came on to this, okay? I know most of you and a lot of you from days. And that's how Jeff and I met. I came into this show, right? Because I wanted myself and a friend of mine to have fun doing a show. In turn, I was hoping that we'd get people to watch, which we have, way more than I had expected. But I was hoping we'd get people to watch, and I hoped that people in there would have a good time. What I've seen sometimes astounds me. It astounds me because, like Jeff was saying, this is freaking professional wrestling. This is not, we're not talking about religion. We're not talking about politics, which I would never in my life have those mentioned in any group that I'm in, ever. If you want to get involved with somebody with stuff like that, you go on right ahead and do that. I would never have them in a group that I'm in, ever. So you want to talk about that kind of stuff, you be my guest. But the fact that, the things that I've seen, it just astounds me. I mean, and I'm not talking about the little, the fun stuff and the things that people do. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like what Jeff was saying. Like, you're gonna get behind this so much that you're gonna gang up on people. You're going to, you're gonna go after people because of it. You're gonna do. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I don't think I have ever, and I can honestly say this, I've been watching wrestling since I was freaking 8 years old, right? I have never, ever gotten into a serious argument with anyone in my entire life. And I go to see pay-per-views every damn year at my friends' houses all the time. We sit over there. Never once did I get into an argument about wrestling with any of my friends ever. Ever. And yet this is what we see. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Are you like, I mean, Jeff mentioned this too. Are you like that sheltered? Are you that angry? Like, do you have just so much pent up in you that you're going to go after somebody on their Twitter? You're going to send them a DM and call them names? And you're going to say disgusting things to somebody because of a freaking opinion about wrestling? Are you kidding me? Are you that much of an ass that you were going to do that? Like, ridiculous. Ridiculous. The fact that my co-host gets bombed in his DMs by people doing this kind of thing disgusts me to my core. Disgusts me. And I just can't believe that. I can't believe it. I can't believe this kind of stuff happens. I cannot believe this kind of stuff happens. And, you know, like I said, and Jeff said it too, good God, take a step back. Reevaluate your life. Take a step backwards and think to yourself before you, we talked about this earlier in the show, before you press that send button, you damn well think of what the hell you're saying. You think of what you're saying and how what you say can hurt another human being. And for what? For what? Because you feel you have to stand up for a wrestling company that does not give two shits about you. They don't. They don't. And there's the reality of it. They don't care. So stop with all of this. And just, like I said, my God, it's wrestling, guys. It's wrestling. And that's why I came, that's why I wanted to do this show. That's why I love doing this show. Because this is, we should all, my God, I'm not going to start a big kumbaya here. And I'm not going to say everybody should be smiling and happy and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because, listen, we're all different. Everybody's different. We all have different personalities, and everybody in this whole world, in this whole universe, wherever we are, is all different. You're never going to get everybody to get along. It just isn't going to happen. That's how people are, and that's okay. Everybody can have different opinions. Say what you got to say and move on. It doesn't have to take over your life. It doesn't have to be something that you're going to keep going on and on and on and over and over and over. And just like I said, unplug. Unplug. Get away from the monitor. Get away from the keyboard and just unplug and realize, my God, there's a world going on out there. There's things going on. There's people there, you know, there's other stuff that can fill your life. If something irritates you, my God, don't watch. I love Jeff's example, by the way. I would never watch, like there's certain things my wife watches and loves. She watches a show called Survivor. I'm sure many of you have heard it. Dude, I hate it. I absolutely freaking hate it. If Survivor went off tomorrow, I would jump for joy. I cannot stand it.
It's still on?
Oh, yes, it is. Unbelievably it is. And I cannot stand it. But, you know, and sometimes I tease her about it. I'm like, oh, God, Survivor's on. And I roll my eyes. But look, it is what it is. Everybody has a different thing. But then, you know what the thing is? Do I mope in the corner because of it for the next 17 hours or the next 4 days? Because, oh, my God, my wife watched Survivor. No. And that's what's going on. That's what's going on.
Joe,
like
Joe, and you know what else? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
I was just gonna say, and you know what? No one ever says about Survivor. Well, if I were the producer of that show, I would have had the person walk through this trail or that trail, and pick up this item off of whatever place, because that would have made the show resonate more with me. That would have popped me more as a fan of Survivor, is to have them walk this trail that's really dark without lights. I mean, give me
my God, like that, and that it goes back to my whole start of this thing with the Star Wars stuff. Like, that's what I was saying. I'm like, my God, do these people know this is fake? Or do they think that there's Darth Vader somewhere out there in a Death Star that's coming to our planet? Like, or do you understand that this is not really happening? Do you get it? Like, is that sinking into your head? I just don't know. I just don't know. And I can't, I'm just going to leave it with this because, we've said a lot, but I'm just going to leave it with this. I can't even imagine what my co-host goes through, nor would I pretend to. And I said that when we had this show way back that we did when we wanted to talk about, things that were going on out in the world a little bit. I can never pretend to understand, and I never will, because I've not been there. So I can never put myself, and don't ever say to people either, oh, I get it, I understand, I'm in your shoes. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. So don't pacify. Don't say I understand, because you don't. You don't. Unless you live that, you don't. And I can never imagine that. And like I said, it disgusts me. And I hope to God we are going to move, someday when all this crap around us stops. And it will. Like I always say, there's light at the end of every tunnel. It will go away. COVID will be a memory at some point. All of this stuff will go away. And I hope to God when it does, the light can shine and people can see, people come out of the darkness a little bit, because it's shameful. It's shameful to me, and I know I don't act that way, but it's shameful to me. And that's it. That's all I got. So,
and folks, don't ever let anyone tell you what to like or not like.
Mm-hmm.
I think on this show we say this almost ad nauseum. Like whatever it is that you want to like, but if you like something, just put your all into it. Doesn't matter what it is. And if someone thinks that is stupid, then you can tell them that they're stupid, or whatever you want to say to them. But I mean,
man, anytime, listen, I'm the biggest nerd that there is. I'm a 51-year-old nerd. So if anyone ever makes fun of you for being nerdy or geeky, all you have to do is you send me a DM and I'll come right to your rescue, because I am the biggest nerd going. I have toys over here. I have toys over there. I have shelves loaded with stuff. I am the biggest nerd that there is. So believe me, I know, because nerd culture was never, ever, ever popular until now. God, I wish it was when I was a kid and I wouldn't have got beaten up as much as I did. But I
mean, listen, we all love Chris, I mean, at this point, he's like a hairless cat because of how much he loves Manscaped. But we still, you know what I'm saying? Like, we still love Chris because even though, he even manscapes his eyebrows, we still love him. That's what he likes.
That's right.
So let him do what he does. But, anyway, that's.
There you go. Sometimes I said this a few weeks back. Sometimes it's just good to get things out in the open. Something look, we have a platform here, and we appreciate you guys coming and listening to us on our platform. We do, but sometimes you just have to say what's on your mind, and sometimes it just feels good to get it out there. So yeah, but like I said, there you go. So thank you for listening. Really appreciate that. And let's move on, Jeff. We'll get to our favorite. We'll go back to the positive, and we'll get to our favorite moments of the week. And then we'll end with some jokes from our friend Jesse, and get us out of here on a high note. But I'm glad you guys listened and stuck around, and I know I've seen a lot of support out there, which is greatly appreciated. So, like I said, sometimes you just have to say things. So I'm glad that you guys stuck around and stuff like that. And there goes Chris with a Manscaped ad right now, right on cue, right on cue. Dude, you really like Manscaped should hire you. Like
They should.
really,
They should,
they,
man.
they should really hire you. Like absolutely, you should be their marketing person. So,
Yeah.
all right, Jeff, what's your number 3 moment of the week?
Oh man, my number 3 of the week would be that promo that Randy Orton cut Monday night. That was tremendous. Just seeing him I know we said this last year, but to see him at this level, at this age, this many years into his career, oh my God, it was so amazing to watch. And I love the whole, he flipped the whole thing on its head, where before he's teasing at Bray about having to hide behind the mask. Now he's saying, I'm going to hide myself behind the mask so you don't see the true horror. That's just brilliant. So
Yeah, look, the fact that if you stick any other person out there to do that promo, I can almost guarantee you it's going to fail and fail miserably. There is nobody else who could have done that and has been as good with that as I saw. When that first came on, I'm like, oh boy, he's in a mask. Like, where is this going to go? But man, Randy is just so good at what he does.
Yeah.
And they just could not have picked somebody else better to do this. If this thing indeed does go on and there is some story still left with him and Bray, because we don't really know, but if that is where they're going, kudos to Randy Orton, and wherever Bray is, and if this is what they came up with together, just absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing, man. My number three was a simple hug. It was a hug between Rosemary and Taya. Man, I really like stuff like that. Just gets to me because it's a humanization of the wrestling business. And that while they were still, right out the door, it was still a story. They were dragging Taya out of the building. And of course, Rosemary came over and was saying, why did you do this? Why did you do this? We had a plan. So right to the end, they were still doing the storyline. But then you got the hug between the two of them, and you could just see how genuine it was.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there were tears there. I'm sure there were. You couldn't tell because Rosemary's head was turned and stuff like that. But I'm gonna miss Taya. I really, really am. And it's when anyone leaves. When the Rascals left, same thing. But they, if this whole thing with Johnny Bravo, and even if it ended up being Swerve storyline, and they did this for Taya and for her leaving the company, kudos. It was a really, really cool way for her to go. But I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to miss her. I enjoyed her work. She's been amazing in what she was doing in Wrestle House. And then, of course, even in Talking Shop, good Lord, man, laughing my ass off when she got when she was, she's literally destroying people like in a video game in Talking Shop Mania. I'm going to miss her. I really am. And like I said, I know people leave. People are going to come and go, and wrestlers are going to go wherever their family needs them to go, wherever they're going to get a better paycheck, or whether they're going to get, whatever it is, maybe more merch. Maybe they're going to just get a bigger place to platform their character, whatever it is. I wish her all the best in the world. And what she does next, I would not be surprised if you see her in the Rumble. Some people made comments about Taya earlier in our chat. Don't be shocked if you see her enter the Rumble. I don't think she's going to go to NXT because I don't think she needs to. I don't think she needs to be developed. She's got a reputation, and of course, her husband is there as well. So how cool would it be if you get a tag team between a husband and wife? Not the first time we've seen it. So, I just love that little bit of emotion that they had there at the end, and it was just cool to see. So, all right, man. What's your number 2?
All right, man. My number 2, which I don't know if I'm allowed to do this because maybe it was a little more than a week ago. But
sure, why not?
The debut of MSK, aka the Rascals, Des Xavier, now known as Wes Lee, and Zach Wentz, known as Nash Carter, their debut in NXT. My goodness, what an amazing debut! We knew we knew that they would come out and wow everyone. I'm just glad that more people are getting to see the type of talents they are in the wrestling business. And man, MSK, my goodness, I mean, I'm always. It's going to be very hard for me to not call them the Rascals and not call them Dez and Prince. But yeah, they, oh my gosh, man, they killed it, and I'm ready to see what happens next. I mean, I really do want to see what they do, because I'm telling you now, at some point, someday, we're going to see MSK versus the Street Profits, and I might pass out, because give me Wes, and Montez Ford in the ring together at the same time, and I might just pass out just watching them.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Hayden Garrett says, my favorite moments of this week is watching Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill pay-per-view for the very first time. That's awesome, dude. Randy Orton promo was awesome. Yes, it was. All right. My number 2, you might sense a theme here. But Jeff, I missed something on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, you did.
And I had to go back and watch. And wow, am I glad I went back and watched right after the show ended. I got to see the entrance for Decay. Dude, I am so happy that they are back. I know it's not all 3 of them. I know Abyss isn't there anymore. I get it. But for me to see them again, it's the first time I got a chance to see them in action, to see them come out, and their entrance is freaking amazing. And it was just so cool to see. I saw, of course, you could go back on YouTube and you could watch YouTube videos and stuff like that of past matches and things. But as an Impact fan, for me to see Decay come out to the ring, have that match that they did. I mean, both of them with the green mist. I absolutely love that. And I think that if this is where they're going to go, and if they're going to have this little mixed tag going for a while, I'm perfectly okay with it. Rosemary can kind of do this as an aside and stuff like that, and not necessarily have to be in a championship picture and stuff, but I absolutely love it. I think those two are great together. And I marked out. That would have been my mark out moment on the pay-per-view. Jeff knew it. He told me, he's like, and when he told me I missed it, I'm like, oh, I was so mad because I had gotten home later on Saturday than I wanted to. I just had some things that I needed to do, and I was so pissed that I missed it. But I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic, and I can't wait to see them going forward and being in more matches. I just think it's fantastic that they're back together. So that was my number 2. What's your number 1, Jeff?
Jason Stauffer is saying that was the first time he saw Decay.
That's awesome.
I marked out so hard on our stream, man. It popped me so hard because it's like I was anticipating it, but I was like, man, I just want Joe to see it. Like, I want Joe to see Decay back in Impact, so he can get that. So I was pumped on the stream.
Awesome, man.
You mentioned the theme, maybe not the same thing, but my number 1. Honestly, is the man they call Moose. Moose over the last several months has quietly been the class of Impact Wrestling. And it goes from his promos. And I know some people say, oh, he talks so slow and deliberate. And I will say to you, that works perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
The type of character that he is portraying right now, because he's a guy that you don't want to talk to. And every time his words come out, you like sit there in anticipation, because you're like, the next word might kill me. So let me be real careful. But let me say this. That match that they had on Saturday when you can say that Moose hit a freaking top rope Spanish fly again on Kenny Omega, and I mean, and it looked beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
When you can say that he stole the show, I mean, and he's sharing the ring with Chris Sabin, Rich Swann, the Good Brothers, and Kenny Omega, and he stole the show. He had to get my number one this week, man.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Everybody was talking about him after that match.
Mhm.
Everybody. So who would have seen that coming when all you heard was Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers? Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. That's all you heard going into that match. And then they had a substitute Moose in because of Alex Shelley and whatever happened with him.
Mhm.
But he was kind of a last second substitution, and he kind of outshines like all of those guys. And oh man, yeah, dude, it was absolutely amazing moment for him. And that could have been, we all watch wrestling, we all see these guys, and you have that one moment where it just clicks.
Mhm.
That was his click moment. I have no doubt that was his click moment. No doubt.
Yeah.
My number one, and I always say, like, this countdown is mark out moments. For me, was just Monday. Little Miss Bliss. What can I say? She's just absolutely killing it, man. I love what she's doing. The involvement she has in the story, the effort she's giving to it, the facial expressions on her. Like, I love to just sit there and watch her facial expressions, and I'll sit there with my camera because I take pictures and stuff like that I sometimes use on the screen, or I put them on Twitter. But a lot of times I'll just go back and look at them. But the little sly, like, half smile and half frown that she had going on at some point, and you could just see like the delight on her face that she was hurting someone in that match with Asuka. She is just absolutely killing it, dude. And if you can look, I've made this clear. I watch Raw for one reason. I watch Raw for Bray Wyatt. And I have. I mean, the Hurt Business is a very close second. I really love what they're doing. But I watch Raw for Bray. Bray's not been on the show. So if I can still get invested and still watch that show without Bray even being on that show, dude, somebody's doing something right.
Yeah.
And man, Alexa Bliss is just killing it with this. What a great again, if this is Bray's brainchild that he came up with this, and there's no reason to think that it wasn't, because we saw this starting back in the Swamp match. Mm-hmm. So if this is his brainchild and he came up with this, well, boy, oh boy, did he help to elevate Alexa Bliss, because where was she? She was a tag team partner.
Yeah.
She was in a tag team with with Nikki. Yeah. Nothing really going on. They were losing matches. I mean, they were getting pounded by Sasha and Bayley all the time. Like, there was nothing happening there. And Alexa's a top talent, and there was nothing going on. Well, if this was Bray's thing and he got this going, man, oh man, just kudos, because he's just killing it. And I can't wait to see what's next. And if like Jeff said, if this is going to be a stable, if they're going to form a stable, I'm all for it. If it's going to be Alexa's show for a little while until Bray comes back, I'm all for it. This is absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see what's next. So that was my number one. Awesome. Tell us what your favorite moments were too in the chat. I know some of you were shouting it out. Jason Stoffer, what did you say up here? I love Little Miss Bliss. Can't wait to see what happens with Sister Bliss. Hurt Business to Sapphire. Yeah, Hurt Business is killing it on Raw as well. I think them and Bray have really held up Raw. There's no question. And I like what those guys are doing as well. Although, like Jeff said, I think they'd be a lot better with a female in there.
Yeah, I'd much prefer to see them have all females, like another female, or either you add in, Bray or the Fiend as the head of this trio of females that have come to the dark side, Nikki and Alexa and Oscar. My goodness, man.
Dude, how cool would that be? Like I mean, how unusual would that be to have like a male with the stable of female wrestlers? Like, oh dude, that would be off the charts.
It's a turn, and Big Dan said this earlier. It's a turn on Kevin Sullivan and the Fallen Angels.
Yes.
Like it's kind of a variation of that. But instead of having, just the fallen angel and rest in peace to woman, but having all of these women flock him, and they can rule the women's division because you can have one as your champion, and the other two as your tag team champions, and they rule that division. And he's kind of the mastermind that unleashes that darkness on the women's division.
Yep.
So I mean, it's such a unique thing, which I'd be more than happy to sell that idea to you, WWE.
I swear to God, Jeff, if that comes true, dude, I'm coming, man.
If it does, I've got a couple right.
Lottery, man.
I've got a couple right.
I keep telling you. This version of Alexa Bliss is elevating her career. Other mothers saying good night. Good night to you. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate that. Butterspark says fallen one-wing angels with burnt wings. Yeah, dude. Like, look it. I mean, in horror films, I may not enjoy the demonically possessed women, but a lot of people tend to. So yeah. Do you think Charlotte gets intertwined in this somehow? Remember what she said in her interview, going down the dirtiest player in the game rabbit hole. Who knows, man? Who knows? I wouldn't be upset with that. Have a dark Charlotte. I wouldn't be upset with that. Sapphire says my tops were Decay, Randy's promo rather, and Alexa Bliss transformation. Yeah, good stuff. It was a good week. It was a good week. We even had the whole Kevin Owens showing up at the end of SmackDown as well, which I mean I didn't see that coming. So that was a shocker. So yeah, a lot of fun things happening in the world of wrestling. So, all right, Jesse, is Jesse in the chat? I thought I saw her a while ago.
I believe so. I'm still
Jesse. If you
play this video for like she's here.
Jesse, if you're in the chat, it's your turn. You are up. We ran a little bit long, but we apologize for that. Oh, Eric Buchanan says I popped for Gilbert. That could have been a 1A for me. The fact that Gilbert came out, oh, dude, that was so awesome. That was just for the fact that Eric, when I saw him come out, the first thing that came to my mind is you and Dave's fan, and I'm like, what are they even saying right now? That they thought Goldberg was getting introduced, and down comes Gilbert to the ring. I'm like, oh my God, that was amazing. And that dude who was playing Drew McIntyre, and the fact that we got the plumber crack, and the announcers were talking about it, like they're like, dude, pull up your kilt. Oh, that was so. You know what? Miz and Morrison could be so good if they're written right. And something like that, that kind of thing, that's where they excel. Let them do the funny. Let them do that kind of comedy stuff, because it just that's what they're good with. So let them do that. They come off as being like these, like they're teasing, they're making fun of other wrestlers and stuff like that. See, that's what they're good at. I love that. Yeah, I thought that was great. Thanks for reminding me about that. I thought that was awesome. Tazzy said Kevin Owens promo and Talking Smack was fire. I did not see Talking Smack, but people are talking about it. I should go back and check it out.
Joe, even if you are able just to catch the clips on YouTube, because the promo, like the thing with Paul Heyman a couple weeks ago and Apollo Crews,
I heard that was really good.
Oh my God, man! That.
I heard Heyman's amazing on that show.
He's tremendous.
Paul's awesome, man. I mean, Paul's always been good at what he does. So let's see. Is Jesse around? Jesse, are you here? There up. Yep, I saw. Yes. Okay. Jesse's in the chat. So here we go. Jesse, it's your time. Eric Travis, Morrison is better though. Joe, he's a good wrestler. Yeah, I'm not saying Morrison isn't. Has he been used right? Probably not.
No.
But yeah, no. Morrison was a hell of a wrestler. I'm sure he probably still is. I think he just needs to be used a little bit better.
He's Johnny Impact, dude.
Yeah. He just needs to be used a little bit better. And we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, when maybe his wife gets up there and maybe they, maybe they do something. Maybe she ends up being like, I don't know. Maybe they have some kind of a mixed thing going on. Who knows? Noob and Company. Oh, by the way, I have to shout out Noob and Company. They were the one who pointed out I think you pointed out the Oscar stuff, didn't you? Thank you for that. I did. I think I did credit you for pointing that Oscar stuff out. So yes, thank you for doing that. Really appreciate that. Jeff and Joe, you can tell Triple H is writing and running Raw. It's TV 14, very edgy. Yeah, I mean it's getting there. It's getting a little bit better. So yeah, let's hope they made some sort of thing. Jesse says she has 6 jokes. 6 jokes?
Oh, right.
Okay. Let's say no. Wait, did I miss one already? Because we need a power of positivity. We do. Oh, we do. Well, we got back on a positive note here. We turned to talking about our favorite things of the week and stuff like that. So
Joe, people are gonna be like, "Who booked that damn Insider Wrestling podcast this week?"
Right.
There's no booking committee here, folks.
Yeah, Mr. Burns from the Simpsons booked it. Roman versus Owens. Do we see a debut coming or a heel turn or returning like Burn It Down? Okay.
I see that.
The funny thing is, a lot of people are saying that Kevin Owens is going to win the title, which is crazy.
Would not surprise me though.
I wouldn't be surprised either, because you know what? Now's the time to do it. If you're going to do that, if you're going to pull the trigger on that, have him win it now, and then you go into WrestleMania where he could always end up losing it. Or does that turn Roman's attention to another title where he can go after one Drew McIntyre, which a lot of people had said that was going to happen at WrestleMania. So this would be the time to have him win it. A lot of people are saying, oh, he can't lose 3 times. He certainly could, but it would be a good time. It would be a good time. Okay, here we go. Number 1. What did one shopping bag say to the other? Sometimes I get carried away. Oh!
I have to go old school with my joke drum and stuff here, but we're gonna go old school.
There you go. So there's number 1. All right, here comes number 2. He who smiles in a crisis has found someone to blame. There you go. Oh, goodness gracious. Hayden's laughing. So there you go. We got the chat laughing now. Eric says Owens did say that he needs a backup there. Sami Zayn. Maybe. Can never say never, I guess. Can never say never. All right, here's number 3. My spouse and I were happy for 20 years. Then we met. Oh, oh, nice. I like it. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, could we get a Seth Rollins reappearance? Well, certainly, it's a big time for him to come back, isn't it? There was talk that he was coming back.
And I See Wrestling asked me what my theory was for him returning, and I might have to share that another time. Let's just say that I might have a theory on one Mr. Seth Rollins.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. There's a teaser. Number 4. I haven't slept for 3 days because that would be too long. Oh, oh my goodness. Damian Priest. Yeah. Sapphire. That's another possibility. There's a lot of rumors flying around that Damian Priest is going to be the one that's going to help Kevin Owens win. So that could be a possibility too. That could be a possibility too. He was supposed to appear on a SmackDown episode, and it got pulled for whatever reason. So that could be a possibility. We're going to see a lot of people coming up on the main roster. Here's number 5. I recently decided to sell my vacuum cleaner. All it was doing was gathering dust. Oh. Oh, man. Joe and Jeff, I don't think you guys watched. I think you mean to say the bump. But Ray and his son, not making him lose at Royal Rumble. Ray said his son is not going to make him lose at Royal Rumble. I think that's what you mean, Eric. Let me know. I don't know. We will see, I guess. We got the Rumble coming up soon. Not that long away. And here we go. I think this is number 6. Half joke with truth. Speaking of vacuums, and we always speak of vacuums, I hate that I can't insult mine because I complain about the fact that it sucks. But the problem is that it doesn't suck at all. Oh. You got a double one on that one. Nice. Oh, nice. No, here we go. That was just that was a little half one. No, we got here we go. It's number 6 and final. I was at an ATM, and this old woman asked me to help her check her balance. So I pushed her over.
That's good right there. That's a good one.
That's a good end. That's a good ending. That was awesome. I like that. That was the good one. That was a good one. Check her balance. So I pushed her over. Nice. I loved it. Loved the ending. It's fantastic. Oh man. Well, we had all kinds of stuff tonight. We had emotions running wild. We came in, we did a little news, then we went up, then we went down, then we're all over the place. Well, again, thank you guys again for coming out and listening. We would not be here, of course, without you. Really, really appreciate that you come out and watch our show. So again, let's just cover some stuff. Of course, Tazzy's in the chat. Tazzy's got stuff going on tomorrow. Make sure that you check out Tazzy's channel and all the good things that he's doing. Of course, his tailgate and his after party for both Raw and SmackDown. He's got the SmackDown one tomorrow night. But also check out his new show coming up on Sunday, the NXT show that he's going to do. Tazzy really doing a great job with NXT and bringing the fire with that. As I said, kind of inspiring us a little bit, and we'll have an announcement in the future about what we're going to do because I think we may have another show coming up as well. So there's that. But yeah, make sure you go check out Tazzy, what he's got going on for the rest of this week. We will be off now until Monday with Abby's Window, which of course will preview Monday Night Raw and the Go Home show, which will be the last time we see Alexa Bliss. Or do we see Bray Wyatt finally? Will we see him before the Royal Rumble? But we'll get more of that on Raw, and of course Randy Orton as well. So make sure you tune in for Abby's Window on Monday. Join myself and Jeff again on Tuesday for Impact Wrestling. Of course, Tuesday every Tuesday, 7 o'clock, 7:30, sometimes depending, but we'll let you know exactly what time that'll be. And then of course join us again right here, same bat time, same bat channel next Thursday at 9 p.m. And then we're also going to announce, of course, our preview show because we will have a Royal Rumble preview show as well. So we'll get that out there. We'll let you guys know when we're going to have it. Jeff, final thoughts, and then let's get out of here.
Jesse had another joke there.
Oh, we missed one.
She says, what did one TV remote say to the other TV remote? Doesn't take much to press my buttons. That's good stuff.
Good last two finale there, Jesse. You had a good finale there. Very good, very good. Not that they're good either, but that good finale.
Good stuff there.
Good stuff, Jesse. Thank you very much for doing that as well. Like we always say, it's good to end the night with a laugh. James Chadwick saying good night. Yes, I know it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Good night, dude. Thanks for joining.
But thank you everybody for joining. Thank everyone for for listening to us. Sometimes it's very important to get those things off your chest.
Mhm.
And that was very therapeutic for both of us. I think.
Mhm.
I don't think I'm speaking for Joe out of turn there.
Mhm.
So yeah, thank you guys. And again, feel free to love and like whatever you do, but
Mhm.
just don't criticize other people and put them down for loving something different.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Words of wisdom. As always, guys, like we always say, have a great rest of your night and a great weekend. Stay safe out there. And thanks for joining. We will hopefully talk to you very soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. Bye.